it has been widely publicized, correctly I might add, that Alaska's Mount Spurr volcano has a high likelihood of producing a large explosive eruption sometime during the next few weeks to months. An eruption is most likely to be about 1/10 the size of the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens, still fairly large I might add, rating on the Volcanic Explosivity Index as a 4. But, for the people in various cities in Alaska, if an eruption does occur, how much do they need to worry, and what precautions needs to be made? To help answer this question, I have created a helpful chart to portray how problematic a likely eruption might be to a given area. Intervals on this chart include no problems at all to minor annoyance, risk scale to you need to leave because everything around you is likely going to be completely destroyed. While yes, this video is about Mount Spurr, it can also serve as a guide for other volcanic eruptions that output large volumes of ash around the planet. Let's get started. While a hypothetical low NV4 explosive eruption could devastate a modest region, most at-risk areas around the volcano, whether through pyroclastic flows, lahars, or incredibly heavy ashfall, you might note that the highest category a single structure is in is the some danger category. And this is only due to these structures existing in a floodplain that could in a worst-case scenario technically be damaged by a lahar so large that it sets records and is thus overall unlikely. Up to 1 to 3 centimeters of ash could fall on these select structures during an eruption, which in my opinion would be best to brush off of a roof, much like in a manner you would do with very heavy snow. Moving down, we have the potentially expensive annoyance category. At this level and below, the chance of eruption-related fatalities is essentially zero. However, if precautions are not taken, possible damage to the regional water supply, or heavy machinery including cars and trucks that could be quite expensive from person to person could occur. This zone includes Anchorage, Kenai, Soldotna, Ninilchik, and Big Lake. In populated areas of this zone, ashfall of 1/8 to 1 th/3 rough an inch would be most likely, almost entirely leaning towards the lower figure. You should pay attention to the following precautions if flashing vehicle lights, vehicle impacts make you internally panic. If you experience this level of ash, it is preferable not to drive unless completely necessary, as mile-per-mile car maintenance will get expensive quite quickly. Ash particles are highly abrasive and can cause damage to a number of car components. As a result, in very heavy ash conditions, oil changes will not be needed the regular interval of every 3,000 to 5,000 miles driven, but instead, every 50 to 100